Hi, I am Daksh. I am the founder of Blub World magazine, which creates inspiring content for teenagers. And we typically find inspiration in teenagers. So it's teens inspiring teens. So why are we talking to educators or school leaders is in every some span of time, we try to take out a white paper where we try to take the learnings from the industry, that how is school education changing and what are all new innovations are happening. So when we are all under an absolute lockdown, enjoying our homes, our families, good food, and a lot of variety of foods. So it's now typically a discussion to give you some food for thought so that we think of some new things. And if you're doing something new, share those learnings with us so that they can be further shared to a lot of school educators and principals and leaders across the globe. So we are here to typically take your experience on how have you experienced lockdown and has your school been operating well, and what all are you using or doing to be connected to your students and keep this learning going on. So since last 3 days, 4 days, we've been doing these web talks every day. So now what we want from you is we will give you 3 minutes to speak. The first, you'll have to share a one line introduction about yourself, where you come from, which city, which school you lead. You have to share with us one big challenge that you're facing right now in running your school. Second, one big learning that you've learned, in this lockdown while operating your school. And third, a vision that you think would be there or should be there in schools, that you think that this would help schools in, growing and taking things to the next level. So we will all start one by one. And if you see on your screen, you can see a guy called Divya Purohit in a white shirt. So he's the timekeeper. So when your time ends, he'll put one hand up, and when you have taken too much of time, he'll put two hands up. So keep looking at him so that we're able to maintain time and everybody gets a chance to speak. So hello once again. So let's start first with Pankaj. So Pankaj, your 3 minutes to share your experience, your learnings with us starts now. Over to you. Unmute your audio. You can speak then.
Yes, so good evening, everyone. I am Pankaj Mathur from Jaipur, Rajasthan. And this is definitely the challenging time for everyone. So is the challenging for the teachers and for the students also. And what we are doing right now, we are taking classes through the Zoom, through which we are talking right now. And it is convenient. I find it convenient. The students are able to understand. The teachers can convey. They are learning. It's a learning process. It's not like everyone is expert in this. Students are completely new for this technology, and I and my whole the staff is also completely new for this. So we are learning every day. We are growing. We are learning from each other. We are making mistakes and we are learning from our mistakes. So this is the process we are right now following. And I think definitely after 1 week or after 2 weeks, we all will be confident and can use this technology effectively. And I definitely think further also after during the term time also this can be utilized in many other way. Sometimes say we can organize it as a doubt clearing session, so it will be effective afterwards also, not only during this corona time. After that also, I think this will be very effective tool for the teachers to clarify doubts of the students. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So basically, I'll share some examples of the kind of content or the kind of ideas that we've received in the last 3 or 4 days from principals. For instance, there is a school in a very small village in Padua in Hooghly. Since they do not have very good internet there, they're doing a very nice thing. They've told their students to create their own customized dictionaries so that they learn 5 new words every day. It's an offline activity, no effort. Just yesterday, we had a school from Abu Road in Rajasthan, a very small place. They are using Zoom to take exams. That's the first school that we have heard till now. We've talked to nearly 50 schools by now. They're actually conducting their exams on Zoom. So that's the first case of exam invigilation happening on Zoom. Then we have one school that has told its students to report what's going around them so that they can learn from the atmosphere or surroundings from them. So we're typically looking at some more innovative ideas or some new innovative approaches that you're using to, again, engage with your students. So since Pankaj has shared his thoughts right now, I can see a user. I cannot see the name. If we can go over to the user, you can unmute your audio and put on your video. If you can hear me.
Yeah, hi.
Okay.
I'm Poonam Arora. I am a founder principal of a Cambridge school, St. MSG Glorious International School, which is located in Sirsa, Haryana. So, although we call ourselves an international school, but we stay into a remote area, so it becomes very difficult for us to, manage the resources and the kind of peer we have, the kind of parents and students we have, because it's a remote area. So, but I'm very happy to say that since 2009, as the school is running, and I am only the founder principal, and the three basic things which you have been asking from different principals, to give the suggestions to all the people. So I must say, although it's a session break, because we usually in Indian systems, March goes with the end of exams. So in the session break, as a challenge, what I found basically, because I'm, very keen with my staff members and with my students, we work together. So I found it that peer meeting is very important. Here I'm answering all the questions which were supposed to be kept in mind, you asked for. So the students in one-to-one interaction and the peer meeting, this is becoming a biggest I must say barrier for educators. Basically, what happens when we see our students, when they see us, there is an aura. Every parent can give a better AC at home, a better food at home, and a better education at home, but they cannot give the education for which these buildings called schools are meant for. So I found this is one important factor which as an educator I'm missing. And second is, if you talk about an innovative solution, what I could find out is, although we are into remote area, yes, net plus is giving a good services, but still every parent may not have that facility at home. So what is going on? My school teachers are recording their audios and videos, sessions for students. For that, basically, I've given a portal from school end on school app, where they are putting their all videos, making hit and trials, whatever they can do. I'm refining their audios, videos, I'm refining. So, a kind of complete team is working. So I could see so many of images, so many of research works I could find out at school portal. And anytime if there will be lockdown increase for another 20 days more, I can manage very well. So I could see the efforts and hardcore efforts of my staff members, I must say, for that. So this is one thing. And the third, the important point which I found it, an innovative solution to current problems. See, problems are meant, these will be forever. So of course, whenever any problem rises up, God finds up a solution along with that. So now what I found it, like, it's my suggestion, if you can pass on this message to public also, that yes, we should have a lockdown for at least once in a month in the school, where the students should come online with the teachers and they should come forward. Because as per my vision, I feel if a fourth grade student can book an Air India ticket for a father, it means the child is growing. So we have to make them social interactive also. And this must be, I am going to opt it for my school for sure. Once in a month, I will lock down the school on online strategic basis, and I will do the such kind of research with my students also, and my teachers also. So I think I'm done with my part. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. A very nice suggestion. I think a lot of government bodies as well are planning to do something like this, that where they are planning to keep higher. I think it's for higher education. Ujwalji mentioned it in one of our previous talks that even UGC is planning to do a 4-day work week and a 5th day study from home, compulsory for all the university students. So that technology
I'm also going to do it once in a month.
So they're trying to do it once a week, that 4-day work week and 1 day.
And the important thing is this, that the students of level 1, those who are called pre-toddlers, even, they are also coming forward. And the parents are, because, this is the time when Modiji locked down everybody inside the home. Even parents, this is teaching the students. Next time, I don't think students need their parents' assistance anymore.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I'm done. For your thought. Let's now move over to, I cannot see the name of the sir, but I can see that's 1+60. Your phone I can surely see. So over to you. Your 3 minutes start again. Just a reminder, your introduction, one challenge that you're facing, one learning that you can share with everybody, and most important, one vision that you think should be emulated and repeated or learned from you to all the schools. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Dilavar, and actually I'm from Sirsa. I was working with Poonam ma'am. She was talking to you right now in an international school as
He is, I must
administrator.
say, he's administrator of the school. Right now, he's also administrator of the school.
So actually, I wanted to see that how people are spending their time in the lockdown. Am I audible to everyone? Hello.
Yes, audible.
Yes, audible.
Yeah, now actually I just moved to college now. I'm taking care of college now. So Poonam ma'am, I used to talk to Poonam ma'am regularly on the regular basis that what you're doing to make the students more creative in this lockdown period. And the challenges are, you can say, big, but I think so. We are Indians. We have tendency to make those challenges into the positive areas, and we are doing it. Although our school is in remote area, as ma'am told you, but I think teachers are so innovative. They are always ready to help the students. Before this online process, ma'am has started doing some short audio video kind of works to the students. My child, she is studying with ma'am. She is in grade 2, and she started making some videos and started putting on Facebook. So lockdown, in fact, she said that lockdown itself is something which is required, and I think so. The positive point of the lockdown of the whole world is coming across of all of us, because I think I was reading out a story of BBC that ozone is healing up now, and the pollution is down. So I'm not going to say that this lockdown should be a practice for the long time, but this is something which is, I think, the nature is balancing. As far as the problem concerned about the schools, I think so that schools were not in a frame of mind. They haven't think about that, okay, what this kind of thing will be happening in the future, but everybody has some innovative ideas to fight against this time, and to make this lockdown useful by spending their children through WhatsApp groups, sending them homework, sending them some creative works, and this type of you can say conferences, and this type of things which are going on in every house. Every educated parents is doing so. So this is something which is really required. As of UGC, you're talking about UGC. I had a letter of Haryana government, because I'm looking towards now college. So college is already announced that we are going to have it 14 days online classes. So I think you people must be knowing that UGC declared that, but after that college authorities of Haryana also declared that we are going to have an online classes. But it's very difficult for us to find a online classes in a Sirsa like area, where students are not, even parents are not so progressive. See that lady in the specs which she was talking right now to you, she's so hardworking that she runs after the students and the parents, that okay, no issues, if you have little resources with you, we'll make it big, don't worry, internet is not a problem, we are going to have you in a different frame of mind. So but for college, it's going to be very, very challenging, because college students are so grown up. They don't want to listen to anyone now. They don't want to you can say listen anyone advice. Although, but I think being a good educationist, we are trying to make them that they should create a WhatsApp group. We have already created a WhatsApp group. My teachers are studying, because now in lockdown, I think it's WhatsApp. There are little you can say restrictions on internet also, because WhatsApp restricted your status up to 15 seconds now. So because it's something the whole every whole world is using internet now. So teachers are what teachers are doing. Teachers are sending the audio clips in the WhatsApp group to the college students, syllabus, and they're asking them to mark the attendance in WhatsApp group only. Say yes or no, say yes or no, like that. So with the limited resources, we are managing, and the I'm totally in a suggestion with Ma'am Poonam that okay, we should have some lockdown, because this lockdown taught me many lessons. I was not able to spend time with my daughter. I'm spending it. I'm just you can say taken a different view of my daughter, that what talent she is having and what talent I can bring into her. So we are enjoying the lockdown period, and we are Indians. We'll overcome it, and sooner everything will be okay. And everybody should stay safe, follow the lockdown rules. That's it. And we are making it, you can say, a bigger.
Thank you. Thanks for your thoughts. With these kind of webinars, what we are trying to do is to take new learnings which can be copied across schools. One big problem that we found out during these interactions was it's easy to engage people from class 5th to 12th, but it's very difficult to engage toddlers and pre-toddlers. So we just got an very innovative idea just this afternoon at one of our previous webinars. There's a principal from Agra. They're doing something very interesting. For toddlers and pre-toddlers, they've just made a video call compulsory every day for every toddler and parent with their class teacher. Now, what they have to do on that video call, whatever the kid wants to do. If he wants to sing, he has to sing a song to the teacher. If he wants to draw, he has drawn something, some painting, he has to show that work to the teacher. If he has made something, he has to show that. And the most critical part of the critical task that they're giving to everybody is find one way that makes your mom happy. And what is it that makes your mom happy? And every day give us a new solution. So that's basically innovative thinking and a lot of life skills and value education going on at the same time. So now it's over to Jamie, ma'am. Ma'am, your 3 minutes start now. You'll have to unmute your audio and then you can speak.
Am I audible? Good evening, everybody. It's my pleasure to join this webinar. I'm Mrs. Jamie Sudhakar, an educationist. I'm very proud to say I'm an ordinary educationist, not a principal, big principal, this, that. Of course, I serve in this field for nearly 25 years. And the biggest challenge that we face now is the pedagogical aspects. We focus only on virtual learning, video conferencing, webinar, all that. But are we really worried about the holistic development of the children? A child is a component of 5 elements: physical, cognitive, emotional, social, linguistic. We as educators, we always say, learn from the book, learn from the experiments, do this sums, do this, do that. Of course, subjects are necessary, but where are we heading towards? Are we preparing the child for this life? We should prepare children for life. And this lockdown, I thank God for this lockdown, of course, because children are getting to know their parents better. The child who is not talking to the father started talking now. And to talk about my school, we have a DLP that's called as Digitalized Lesson Plan. We follow Digitalized Lesson Plan. Of course, it was planned from May until March. It was all over. Everything is completed. So nothing, no more lessons to teach. But what do? We do virtual classrooms, focusing on values. As my educationist rather than principal, I'll say, as an educationist, as a human being, as a mother, I want my child to get ready for his future. So I feel, you started saying about the preschool. Especially, I'm an early childhood educationist. I started my career as a kindergarten teacher. So I feel very proud to say that we should focus on the 5 elements of children, fine motor skills. Now it's time for the parent, as you said, every day the class teachers can sing a song and ask children to make their own song. Give all the vegetables to them. Mother can sing songs with them. Purple brinjal, brown, John the Rabbit song they could sing. Come on, my child, bring that brown potato, bring that purple brinjal, bring that yellow pumpkin. Like this, varieties of colors could be taught to children. Apart from that, one help that I do to my parents, watering the garden, going and plucking the green chilies, bringing tomatoes, helping parents at the same time learning, holistic learning, whereas the child learns to socialize with the parents better. Definitely these children will need or want time to be with their parents in future. I strongly believe that. My son is in college. He's doing civil engineering. I have a daughter who's doing her MSc physics. They are always on books because they have got a couple of assignments. At the same time, now I could see my daughter learning cooking at home. I'm very happy. These days, what I've told my teachers and my students is help parents at home. We have a lot of homeworks for children. That is, as you said, preparing a portfolio. Today is day 9 of lockdown. Get ready from day 1 until day 9. What are the learning, self-learning? It's not that the teacher teaches and the child learns. I've been a teacher. I've taught grade 12 English. CBSE when I was a teacher long back when I was a vice principal. I used to take 2 classes. So what I used to do is I never teach. Make my learners responsible, self-learning. Ask my children, divide them into groups. Give me 2 minutes, I'll finish this. This strategy will be very useful to everybody. Group learning, collaboration. Where are we heading towards? 21st century learning. Divide them into groups. Ask them to ponder through the lessons. Give every child one paragraph. At last, ask them to come and present. The whole lesson is complete. After that, the teacher starts from end, beginning and complete till the end without any gap. Thus, the learning is wholesome. Now, at this time, at this juncture, every child can open his book, start learning. And especially when they read English poems, they can write a similar poem and they send it online. Thank you, Blubs, very much. Enjoy this session. God bless.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now let's hear it from Surat, sir. So your 3 minutes, you have to typically share one line introduction about yourself, one big challenge that you're facing, one learning that you've learned during this lockdown, and fourth, one vision or one practice that people across the globe can replicate or learn from you for running their schools and their classes better. Over to Surat, sir.
Yeah. A very good evening to all the members over here. And first of all, I congratulate Blub's World for including me to this wonderful webinars. Well, we started school actually closed down by 21st, and in our state, actually, I'm the principal from Radcliffe School, Jaipur. So we have a 12 school working across the country. So the biggest challenge was that our examination was on the way, and the examination for the major paper was not conducted. And again, the lockdown started for next 31st of March. So that was a great setback for the student because all their preparation was going in vain because they were not in a position to write any exams. So there was a concern come from the parent side what to do next. Certainly the order was issued from the government, so we have to wait for that. Fine. So now immediately 24th when the PM addressed to the entire nation that we are going for the lockdown for next 21 days. So again an anxiety and fear came from the parents side because they will be away from the learning, and that will be a huge academic loss for the student for locking them up for next 21 days. So what we did actually, we were not at all prepared for the online resource because we are not using any online learning module. We are not using any app. And at the same time, we are not incorporated with any smart class learning modules, etc. What we did, we are a team of teachers actually created a broadcast group through WhatsApp. We created what we did, we are preparing the worksheet and we are converting it to PDF format. What we actually did, we can see that this was actually the period for the student of transition where they're moving from one class to another. They were excited about the new class, new books, new uniform, etc. So everything was spoiled. So what we did, in order to remove their fear and also to engage the student at their home, so we prepare the worksheet, keeping the key point from the previous class and the key point from the next class, a bridge course we have created for the student. And we locally we have connected all the teachers to the broadcast group, and we are delivering the learning to the student at their doorstep. These are the things we have done. Yes, initially it was a great problem for the students to get download this PDF and they do this, but slowly and slowly they adjusted. The parents are also enjoying helping out their kids doing this thing. Students too are enjoying. So this is the academic part. Let's come to the non-academic part also. Since we have the hobby classes also like the music, dance, sports. So we included these teachers also. They are sharing the videos in which not only for the purpose of learning they are sharing, but at the same time how yourself keep yourself fit during this time. So such kind of video we are sharing to the parents and they are enjoying to the whole. The best part is that this in the small time I was not at all used to of the online learning, but I can see that the online learning has become the greater advantage to connecting the student even out of the school. This is the one point. The second thing is that yes, we have created a very drastic and creative material for the student we are delivering to that. Second thing is that this 21-day period that we started lockdown across the country, I could see that we all are gifted with certain kind of ability or talent, and it can be best utilized. However, we people keep complaining that we don't have time for these, we don't have time for that. So this is the best time we have got to enhance our skill and to bring out whatever skill and talent we people have. Even for me also, I enjoy writings. So I started writing the short story for the children, and I till now I have written 7 and 8 story. And I hope that even the lockdown will be over, this writing will take a shape of book in the coming days. So this is how the things are going on. Next thing is that the one beautiful things I found out that the crime rate has fallen down, because every day on the newspaper I was going through the crimes and all. It has slowed down. I can feel it was all because of the moral values are actually down in the society. So this is the best period we can spend the time with the kid. We can teach them what actually the values are there. Like, and we can tell the stories to them. What is the meaning of kindness? How to inculcate. I mean, forgiveness. How to bring charity in your nature. These are the period which can be best utilized in creating the moral values among the children. So that's all from my side here.
Thank you so much, Surat sir, for your nice thoughts. So, what we have found in these many days of talks, that some of the best education technology companies or ERP solutions or EdTech solutions, they have not been very successful in helping schools with content delivery. The education technology sector has not been able to serve schools better, well, and the companies or technologies that were not meant for education have become the greatest tools of it. The first one being WhatsApp and the second one being Zoom. These companies were never supposed to be education companies or enabling education in any way, but they are now the biggest and the strongest tools for deciphering education. So before we move on to the next, even Google Classroom. Absolutely. So now let's hear it for the next 3 or 4 minutes from Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary, who currently is the Pro Vice Chancellor for Damas University. He is the founding director of Symbiosis Institute of Mass Communication, somebody with a very good experience in the field of media and education. Over to Professor Chaudhary.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be speaking to very senior school teachers, and this is a very good exercise going on for, I think, 6 or 7 rounds you must have had. A couple of rounds I have been also speaking. A lot of new learning, and some of the points presented were very articulately done. Self-video, someone has already said, self-video and self-audio to be shared. That's a good point. I would also suggest for the senior classes, science chapters can be turned into models. You can ask them that, okay, this is your science syllabus. The book is already there with them. So there are suppose 20 chapters, and there are 40 students. So each chapter can be given to 2 students. So turn it into a model using only paper, board, gum, maybe a very minor things which you can easily get. I don't know, maybe tubs or soil or whatever. So photosynthesis or solar system, anything turned into a model, which later on after the lockdown is over, can be all brought and showcased. I have actually attended one program like this. So Google Class, Madam has just now mentioned Google Class. We at the higher education, our students are those whom you leave. That means 18 to 23 years. I'm in university. I was earlier in Symbiosis, then Amity, and now Pro Vice Chancellor of Adamas University in Kolkata. So we are using Google Class in a big way. And now Zoom sessions. Zoom sessions, we were like this, we were using more for our faculty meetings and the deans meetings and all. But now we have started for students also. But Google Class has been going on for a long time now. I mean, since the day of the lockdown. We actually in Bengal, our lockdown started from 15th of March, several days before your lockdown started. So that's why if you see the cases in Bengal are very less. We are not even 100 cases yet. Out of the 2,000 cases in the country, not even 100 cases yet. Anyway, so we are taking our attendance on Google spreadsheet and reconfirming it through the WhatsApp group. Someone has already told attendance on WhatsApp group. So this is how we are taking, but this attendance on the Google spreadsheet and in WhatsApp group, the attendance has to be done in the first 5 minutes itself. The attendance must be done in the first 5 minutes of the class, so that we are clear that people are on the desk. Our classrooms are small. I mean, usually in higher education, except engineering and all, our classrooms are usually of the size. Our classrooms are usually of the size of what you call 25-30 students. So you can take them on Zoom as well, though we have been doing more on Google. We're moving on to Zoom just now. Apart from that, use a WhatsApp group, I said. Yes. One of the ways of turning a crisis into opportunity is to allow the young people to explore their latent talent. You know, as people have been saying already, there are different types, 9 types of expressions. So written is one, verbal is one, histrionic is one, theater is one. Different types of expressions are there. So each one has certain creative urge or possibility. So can we encourage creative writing, painting? I mean, Suraj sir has just now talked about creative writing. So creative writing, painting, reciting, music or dance, and ask the youngsters to click a video of what they have done or learned, and which is very easy. The parents can click the video and that can be shared. And as Poonam ma'am has said, that there is an app of the school which most schools do not have actually. So app of the school where these things can be put up and people can actually see and become very interested in it. Yes, the higher education world is thinking of turning one day a week into digital learning or learning from home, and the remaining, so the idea is like this, that the students will come to college for 4 days, and most practical work, hands-on work where you need to meet, teamwork, all these will be on those 4 days along with some classes. But the most theoretical classes, whether it's done on Monday or Friday, that will be done digitally, which can easily be done through Google Class and what do you call. Now we are moving, next month we are moving to TCS IM. That's another, from the Tata consultancy, another service. It's a proprietary service. So we might move there, but that's okay. As on today, the whole world is largely using Google Class and Zoom. Some people use GoToMeetings also. GoToMeetings is another platform. So this doing one day digital learning would be a great thing, because already in this 1 month, people would have learned the ease of going into digital and learning would have already come. So that's one of the things that we are planning moving ahead. There's also another thing I would like to note, that online admission test, we cannot say no to admission test because this is the season, as we know, in higher education. So 18th of April, we have our admission test, and we are doing it completely online. Earlier, it was physical admission test in multiple centers around the country, wherever our students come from. This time, it will be completely online, sitting at their homes. It will start at 10 and will be over at 12 o'clock. So 2 hours, and the questions are such that one cannot easily Google and get it. So it's more applied, analytical, and that sort of thing. So consciously, and it starts at that time and ends at, and enough questions so that they can finish in time, but cannot take help of Google. So that's the idea. This one example I've said. Some of the points that we are trying to do at our end, but this is a good exercise, and I would expect Blub to combine all the key learnings from all the principals and panelists across all the sessions and send that copy by email to all those who have participated. You can even write in bracket names of people who have suggested what. So that would be really a great thing in times to come.
Absolutely. We are so we're trying to do that. We're right now compiling all the good learnings that we're getting, and we'll be sharing an accredited document where whatever suggestion comes from whom will be named, and that will also be published in the magazine in the next edition. So before the session comes to an end, there are two ideas that I want to share. That's typically food for your thought, so that when we meet next in some of the other webinars, there is some new ideas and some new learnings that we can get from you again. The first, we are right now in a corona world, and after this lockdown ends, there will be a post-corona world where a lot of our daily activities, routines, ways of thinking, perceiving things will change. As far as education is concerned, the student will drastically change. He'll be tech savvy. He will be somebody who has a lot of stored up energy which he is not able to use. Third, he would be better at his values. So you'll have somebody who has a much better self-esteem. So how good will your teachers be able to handle him? Because he as an individual will drastically change in the post-corona world. And in the post-corona world, when a lot of redundant things in teaching and education, for instance, content delivery or giving information to a kid about any subject is no more critical to a teacher. It's no more a critical skill. Technology can very easily do that. A Byju's can do that, and extra marks can do that. So the teacher's skill set will change, and you'll have to isolate the actual real value adding skill sets that you need in your teacher, because he has to now be a facilitator. He is somebody who must have much better observation skills. So these two thoughts, where first you have to look at the kind of student that you'll get and kind of mental makeup he'll have when he comes back. And second, the kind of teacher you'll need, because these two super key elements to the education sector will drastically change post this lockdown. The post-corona student and the post-corona teacher will be a very different creature who comes into the whole game again. And thirdly, before we all leave, we at Blub World are always scavenging and trying to find creative and innovations and new things that are going on in the school education sector. So we are starting with a small competition for schools where we are trying to find the most creative school in India. So my team will share some details about that, where we will try to know what all innovations and new things your students, your teachers, or you as an institution are doing, so that we can share the best practices that we find to all the educators and schools across the globe. Tomorrow we have the head of the Department for Education, University of Wales, Mark, coming in from London for the same webinar at 5 tomorrow. And day after tomorrow, we have the founder of Millennium Group of Schools, Bindu Rana, coming in. So what we're trying to do is to create a white paper which has thoughts, ideas, innovations, and whatever new and different is going on in the education sector, which has some longevity in it. Solutions which will last with us. Only two critical skills education has to build now in a student. First, creativity, because that's what keeps you better than technology. And second, wisdom, because only and only these two skills technology can never take over. So I think you'll have to, and not creativity, not just in the sense of painting and drawing and things. It's critical thinking. It's thinking on things in different ways. So before this comes to an end, if you enjoyed this webinar and would like to participate in further ones, put on your audio, say a big yes, and thank you so much, people, for joining.
Yes, yes.